right, let me turn this down just a little bit. I don't know how loud this is going to be. That should be fine. I don't know how long I'll be doing this for, but kind of like body doubling, right? Um, there's a couple things I want to try and get finished. One, I'm going to be dropping this lady off tomorrow to a person who's going to be giving this, and another one, it's companion over to her granddaughters. One of her granddaughters likes pink, the other one likes purple. So what I did is one has purple hair with a pink dress, the other has pink hair with a purple dress. But I just have to add these petals. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to finish up, well, I'm going to work on the back of the cheetah print cardigan that I'm making. And then I'm also planning on wrapping up a couple turtles for that church trip. We'll see how far I can get. This is my day off, and part of the reason why I took this day off from work ahead of the quarter close that's coming up uh, near the end of this week is that, these projects aren't late, but I don't want them to become to that point. So I took the day off. I did some stuff around the house that needed to get done. Um, but my primary goal for taking the day off was to actually have a day of my own without any expectations for anything. So yeah. For the witch, the cauldron, the little transforming thing, if you haven't seen it before, I may have shown it a type once or twice, but it turns in. So here she is with her little skirt. It's a black skirt. You squish her down, and suddenly it's a boiling cauldron. And this, not my pattern, right? I don't receive any money for promoting this. I could probably put a link somewhere, right? But it's from this book, Reversible Amigurumi. I got this book on Amazon. Um, what helped me when, of course, I was looking at, because of course there's a lot of AI stuff out there. I could tell, and when you've been crocheting for a long time, you can tell at first glance if something is AI generated images, AI edited images. She maybe, I doubt it, but maybe she took all the photos and sent it to GPT or whatever, and was like, hey, don't alter the crochet part of my images, but can you, and I don't know, right? I think that would be a smart way to use AI, but I could tell you none of the patterns in here are AI. These are legit patterns. I've made this one many, many, many times. I don't want to show too much. I don't want to get in trouble, right? But this is by Febby Pranajaya, which is Febby. It's the first name. Last name is Pranajaya. And then it says right here, Chibi's Craft. But if you type in reversible amigurumi on Amazon, you should be able to find this book. It's very affordable, and it's got just some fantastic ones I'd like to get into. My daughter is obsessed with this one. She wants me to make this for her. I will try. As soon as I get through some of my other ones. But it's because her middle name is Rose, and this is a rose. Anyway, I'm going to go try and see if I can finish the petals. I'm not going to talk about what I'm doing because, I don't want to get in trouble for like making a tutorial based off of the lady's pattern or whatever. So I'm just going to be filming myself doing it, probably in quiet, just because this is just one of those days. And maybe when I'm in a slump with crocheting, I can watch this video and just crochet along with myself. So, all right. One thing I got, there was a meetup in San Antonio. There's a Facebook group. So if you're in the San Antonio and surrounding areas, there is a Facebook group called Hotties Who Crochet SA. And they've had 3 meetups now. I went with my sister to our first meetup, their third one, the third one that the group has hosted. And it was really fun. But while I was there, I picked up some amigurumi sticks, which I didn't know what they were. But I figured I'd be able to make some use out of it. Plus, I wanted to support the people that were there, and they were $10 a pair. So, but someone was explaining to someone else what they are. You use them to like push through your work and to keep everything stationary while you sew it in place. And I know I've had that problem before where I kind of line it up and I think it looks perfect. And then I start sewing it, and at some point it shifts, and then I'm like, "Ugh, what was I even thinking?" And then undo it. It's one of the reasons. Sorry, it is one of the reasons why I don't like doing amigurumi all that much, because I may be able to pin it together perfectly, but yeah, then I'm like, "Ugh, it looks terrible." Okay, slip stitch and starting in the second. Oops, sorry. I did what I do with my things that I'm making. Okay, and then I can just crochet here. Yep. Oh, this hook is starting to split the yarn. This is not, I think it's because this is not exactly the best yarn. It's Red Heart. I found with a lot of the vivid color Red Heart, sometimes it just splits so easily. All right, got that. I'll probably pause. Well, I won't pause the live stream, but I'll probably step away to get the sticks when I'm ready to join these and see how well they work. Come on. Okay, you want to go in there? We'll see if I have another 4.5. I might have my favorite brand, the Clover Hooks 4.5. Yeah. Let me see if I have that real quick. This thing has been fantastic, and I mean, I've used it for a lot of different things. And even this project, I mean, it was amazing working with this, but I think this is Crafter's Secret from Hobby Lobby. It's not Red Heart. And then this, it worked amazingly with this, but this was from Premier Yarns from the dollar store. So what is it, Dollar Tree? Yeah. So just this pink stuff it doesn't like. So let me just go check my hook bin. This is my smaller hook bin. Let's see what I got. Lots of multiples. All right, so I have a 4.5. It's not really the 4.5 I wanted. I know I have more hooks. Give me a second. Nope. Can't find the log into that one. All right, well, that's fine. I'll try this one, see if this works any better. It's not a clover, but I mean, it'll do in a pinch, right? So I'll keep this as my reserve. All right. So we've got one. Oh, I don't like the sound that makes. Okay. Yeah, I really don't like the sound this makes. When you've crocheted for a while, I'm sorry, I'm sniffing a lot because there's something weird going on with my ears. It was doing it before I left for spring break. Then when I was in Colorado, I had no problem with my ears, and then when I came back, I was having a problem again. So it might be just like an allergen thing, because here in Texas, like the stuff I'm allergic to is really high. But I'm having trouble on occasion in the middle of a conversation hearing all the way out of one of my ears, almost like it's stopped up, but there's nothing in there. It's just the weirdest thing. My mother-in-law's been having this problem for over a year now, and it continued for her when she was still in Colorado. So I don't know. At least this is the easy enough pattern. Once I refresh myself and look at it once, I can do it all the way till I finish the last petal. So that's nice. It's a nice day outside. It's not too hot yet, and I would go outside and crochet on the porch, on my porch swing, but um, I wouldn't be able to do this. I could live stream from my phone, but YouTube gets a little bit weird about that. It doesn't let me view it later because I don't have like enough viewers, I don't have enough subscribers or something like that, which is fine. I'm sure that they have to do that because if people could, they would all be live streaming from their phones. Um, Everyone would, and so they limit that, I guess, until you're of a certain level or whatever, which is fine. This is not this is not a full-time job for me. I just I don't know, like to record it. It's one of the benefits that I have that say my grandparents didn't have. They couldn't. I mean, they could. Okay, let me back up. They could record. They had camcorders and stuff at their house, but of course, it was a lot more expensive then. And they don't have, the luxury that we have, where there's more data that can be saved out there. Um, but like years in the future, when I'm gone, my kids can watch these and they can show it to their kids and maybe even their grandkids if this format is sort of around. It's like, hey, this was your grandma, this was your great grandma or great great grandma or something like that. Because I know, sorry, that is driving the. It's annoying me so much because I'm talking and it muffles. My voice sounds different. I don't like it. Anyway, I heck, I don't even know the name of my great grandmother. Uh, yeah, on either side actually. Um, well, okay, I'm sure I was told, but my memory is not that good when it comes to names, especially if I've never met them before. I'm like, oh, it's easy, it's easy. God, this was no, I was right. Okay, I was second guessing myself for a second there about if it's the single crochet that comes first, then the increase, or not. But I was right. I'm gonna have to get up in a second to change the AC. The AC upstairs is set to like 86, and that's actually gonna make me queasy. I need it to be at least 76 in the house. Well, at the maximum right now because we came off of that, the winter, and I've adapted to warmer or to colder temps. So I have to readapt to the temperature we normally have our house at in the summer, which is 78. Um, but I've been doing fine with the 71 over the winter. And in fact, a lot of times, since I'm the only one at the house most of the time when I'm working, um, I turn off the heater around the entire house and I have a small space heater. So the house is typically in the mid 60s during the winter, at least an hour or so before the kids get here. So I'm like, why do I want to heat the whole house when I'm the only one here and I can always bundle up? So this is petal number 4. There's going to be a total of 5. Well, there's this fundraiser being run by one of the cancer societies. Um, it's kind of like March of the Dimes, but it's like, uh, you I assume you ask for donations, like, hey, do you want to pay me 10 cents for every 100 stitches I do during the month of April? And then at the end of the month of April, the people make that donation based off of how much they pledged to cover, kind of like March of the Dimes, where it's like, hey, for every mile that I walk, I earn 10 cents from this one person, and I've signed up 100 people. So these 100 people have all pledged to give me 10 cents a mile. So if I walk 10 miles, that's a dollar for every person. That's $100. So I think it's similar to that. Um, but I feel weird about asking people for money. So I signed up for it, and then I've got like cold feet on asking anybody after I've shared it. So I'm like, oh, well, but that is what I'm doing for the month of April. So if anyone's interested, let me know. I will send you a link to the little Facebook fundraising page that they helped me set up. They've got a really good score on Charity Navigator. If you're like me and you check Charity Navigator before you make any charitable donations, I want to make sure that my money is going to be used uh, almost. I know that there's administrative costs. I get that. But I want to make sure that at least most of my donation in almost all of its entirety will be put towards the cause that is being fundraised for. So if a charitable organization doesn't have at least a 90% rating on Charity Navigator, I won't donate to them. Here we go. One thing I like to donate to is annually, especially around Thanksgiving time, I donate to the San Antonio Food Bank because a lot of companies, it's before the end of the new tax year, before the end of the tax year, and they like to do a lot of those matching donations. That way they're not necessarily on the hook, but it also does help out because when you're like me and you want to donate when matching donations are happening, so your money goes further, um, then it helps, right? Well, also with food banks, when you pay them in monetary donations, which I know not everybody can, and that's fine. But when you do monetary donations, a lot of times food banks have setups with they're set up with companies to buy food at like wholesale prices. So that money it costs them a whole lot less for a can of corn or frozen turkey than it costs you to buy that at the store to then donate to them. So typically, when I see, when it's around that time, it's around Thanksgiving, and you start seeing those big barrels or whatever at stores, um, I recommend not intentionally buying stuff at the store at that moment to donate to them. I mean, unless you're not going to be making financial donations, this is the only way in which you're going to donate. Please do that. Please do that. Do not change your methodology for donating food to food banks because of this. Um, but if you have food at home that is not expired by months and months and months, right? You don't want to be donating really expired food. That's just, in my opinion, I feel like that's rude. But again, food's food, right? So, I mean, I wouldn't do it, but if you've got like a month or two, or even a week or two on the food, they're going to make sure the food bank is going to make sure that's out first, and someone will be able to use it. Um, but I will make every effort to make a financial donation because I know with all the matching that goes on and the wholesale setup that they have, it will go pretty far. And I really want to try and maximize my donations when I can to help it out. It was a couple years ago I did my annual donation. It was $1,000, and I know that's a lot, right? It sounds like a lot, right? If you space that out over the course of a year, it's really not that much. $1,000 is a little over $2 a day, right? Um, which that amount is something that I can afford. I'm really happy that I can afford that. But I got a letter from the San Antonio Food Bank after my donation that year, and they told me that I helped. My direct donation of that much money helped provide complete meals for 7,500 people, which told me that they had matching going on, and then they also had the wholesale pricing that they could make that money go further, which is awesome. Plus, they know what their needs are more than I do. So if I give them 1,000 cans of corn, they maybe already have plenty of people who are donating corn, and I just made the situation worse. But I don't think anyone here is going to be donating 1,000 cans of corn. There we go. Ooh, excuse me. Oh boy. Now I gotta just weave these in, figure out how I want them to look. You can't see her, but she's there. I'm gonna try and weave in some of these in real quick. I'm glad this isn't a Friday. If this was a Friday, I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing because on Fridays I like to go to my kids' school and bring them lunch because it's their Fridays. If it's a nice day, they get to have lunch out on their recess lab outside, and then I'll hang out with the kids for recess, and we'll play Sharks and Minnows seems to be the kids' favorites right now. They also really enjoyed laser tag, not laser. Oh my gosh, laser tag, freeze tag. Enjoyed freeze tag last time I did that with them, and yeah, it was pretty fun. There we go. Put this in here. I really never trust weaving things in. I always weave it like 3 ways. There we go. Like in one direction and then in another direction, and then I'll either go back the way I came, or I'll go another direction. So this way I've woven it in quite a bit at this point, and then I've woven it back and forth along the back. So happy with this one. I'm going to adjust my camera real quick so you can kind of see a little bit better, hopefully. So we'll see how this works out. Moving. Sorry, 1 second. I'm gonna move this thing. There we go. There we go. My head's probably getting there. Hopefully it's not. I'm not looking up at my camera. So right, I'm gonna get that one up. There we go. The first petal is attached. And attach the second petal now. gonna weave this end in. Now, right now, before I weave it in, there's this little weird bump. You can't really tell, but I can feel it. I don't like it. So I'm just gonna kind of connect it to the stitch next to it. And then it helps it be more flat, more uniform. All is right in the world. I I didn't tell the kids, but I might go to their JITS class today. They get so tickled pink when I'm able to go, and with how my job works, I'm never really able to go. That'll of course change come May 15th, but well, come after May 15th, I guess. I tell you, the amount of people who just get this weird look on their face when you tell them that you're voluntarily leaving your job and that you don't have anything else lined up, it's kind of crazy. Tell you right now, YouTube, that is not my fallback. I do this because I like it. And I've seen too many horror stories of people who they really enjoyed YouTube and they made it their career. And then they ended up not liking it. You know what I mean? Um, it ended up becoming more of a chore than something that they were used to doing for fun. And I don't want that to happen to me. So um, this is just for fun. And I just get that and get that. And then I'll weave these in once I'm done, you know, the extra ends. Go. Got another one attached. Moving right along. And this has been sitting in my little virtual queue for a while now. I have another one actually that I need to make for the mother of my kid's friends. I don't know at what point you start referring to someone as a friend rather than an acquaintance when it comes to adult friends. Um, so I don't know. Um, so for now, I'll call her an acquaintance. Um, but we have done things with our families together, which is nice. Um, but there we go. Uh, I told her I would make her one of these with Superman colors, and that was like back around October timeframe. So it's been a little while. I had a lot of other projects on the horizon at that time anyway, and she said not to worry to get it done when I'm able to get it in. But I'd like to start working on it sooner rather than later. So I'm trying to get through some of my queues. I will say, if you ever purchase this book, this one right here, um, and you decide that you want to make this cauldron witch, do the hair first. Do the hair first, because that is the most time intensive part. And let me tell you, you finish the hair, you're basically done with it. It's super easy to make everything else after you finish the hair. The hair is the problem. To get that hair done though. Get that hair done. All right, so let's see. I want to do stab in this way, get the corner of this guy. I'm like attaching it to the petal next to it. Whoops. There we go. Trying to get it, I'm trying to split it kind of through the yarn fibers so I have some more stability instead of just looping it through stitches, through like complete stitches, but that one right there was just not working. What in the world? Excuse me a second, I think I hear something outside. Oh, I don't have a doorbell that works, so. Oh, there is someone here. Okay, give me a second. Okay, so it turns out there was a guy here. I mean, obviously, there's a guy here, but it was the dude dropping off the water softener tablet. We got hard water out where we live, so all right, go back to sewing this gal together. I didn't know, but he needed to have a signature. I didn't even know whose it was for. Uh, Janet, my mother-in-law, came over while he was still here and was like, "Oh yeah, it's for both of us." So I'm like, cool. So at some point, I'll probably wrap up the live stream now that I've been gone for like 17 minutes or something like that. Wrap up the stream and then load up half of the bags. I think they're only 50-pound bags, so it's not a big deal. It's gonna be hell on my shoulder, but the chicken feed bags are 50 pounds. I just have to make do. Not use my bad one. It's bright out today. I am probably gonna take. So I filmed earlier. What you say? Where I was blocking those cotton circles, if you will, for the shawl. I'm probably gonna take them outside in the shade and let them air dry a little bit because it is nice out right now. Um, and I don't think that will damage them any. It's not like it's acrylic, so I don't really have to worry about temperature and stuff like that too much. All right. Oops. I wove this in, but I forgot to trim. All right. Well, it's going along real nicely. I have exactly the amount of room that I need for the last petal, which is how this is designed. She was very, very thoughtful in her design, which is really nice. Designed these petals at a width like any good designer should do, so that they will properly match up without looking awkward. So yeah, she did a fantastic job. I mean, I normally struggle real hard with reading patterns, but yeah, she did a really good job. And I don't want. I mean, so I may have a messed up talking about the water softener tablets again. I may have kind of a messed up shoulder, but I rather I be the one lifting it than my mother-in-law or my husband who's got a bad back. Um, so and because they were for both of us, like I didn't know the guy had already unloaded them, and I'm not about to ask him to like split the delivery, especially because I realized he was saying that he'd already dropped them, and I was like, oh yeah, okay, it's fine, it's fine. Like we had someone had delivered my mother-in-law's pool that she got as a Christmas present surprise above ground, a Christmas present surprise for my kids, her grandkids, and the guys delivered it to. They had already started dropping it on our side, and I was like, crap. So it was a bit of an effort to get it over to her side, um, but it got there. It got there. Okay, we're down to the last one. Let's weave in this end. I'm so happy. I will probably step away for a minute or two from the stream to put it in the car so I don't have to worry about forgetting it. It's just easier that way. I also will have to be in the office, my official non-work from home office, tomorrow to drop off some of these things. It's not my work. It's not my in-office day, so it'll just be a half office day for me, half work from home day. But I also need to get. I have a medical appointment over there tomorrow, so knock that out as well. I love this thing. I got this from the dollar store, or was it? Yeah, it was from the dollar store, I think it was. It's just this little itty bitty cute trash can. So I put my little yarn ends in it. All right, once I'm done with it, this is the piece that's missing. Like I said, that designer was really good. I mean, as most designers should be, it should fit. So should as many petals as you have, it should work out. So let's go pop this in. Gonna connect that. This is the I think this is the 5th or 6th one of these that I've made, and every single time I've never had an issue with weaving in the petals, which is nice. There we go. I also do have some ends that I need to weave in on the cat blanket that I've been working on for my brother. It's come along quite nicely, actually. I have been making progress every single week on it. Maybe not every day, but every single week I have made progress on it, whether I'm just weaving in one square or making one square. Progress is progress. And that's really important with crochet projects is to try and, you know, try and continue to make progress on however many work in progresses you have because you don't want them to become UFOs, which if you're not familiar with that crochet term, it's called an unfinished object. I was working on one for my mom in the waffle stitch, and I realized I hate the waffle stitch. I hate it. So I ended up completely getting rid of that one. I did not like it at all. So I switched. It was a blanket I was making for her guest room. So I ended up making a much nicer blanket, I feel, using one of Helen Shrimpton's blanket patterns from her website, Crystals and Crochet. She's got some fantastic patterns. If you're looking for some nice intricate blanket designs without getting bored because you're making 1,000 granny squares, then I highly, highly recommend her pattern. And in addition to having written patterns, she also has photo tutorials. So she'll have a photo of every step in the way, which I really appreciate. It makes it easier. Wow. Okay, sorry. I had to change topics because I'm looking at the pink through the camera and it's showing as like a salmon color. This is actually a neon pink, if you would believe it. The blue looks right and the purple looks right, but this looks like salmon. And it is not salmon. It is a nice neon pink. Okay, so I have one of these ends woven in. I like to go through at least 4 single crochets in one direction, and then I will go like under and back through. And I mean, these are already really, really, really tight stitches. So this just makes it incredibly difficult for anyone to accidentally undo. I mean, honestly, there's no way that you could accidentally get these petals off. You would have to use scissors. You would have to use scissors. All right. Just bring them along under and then back the way they came. And I always pull it taut to make sure, like when I go one direction, pull it taut, make sure it doesn't look weird, that it doesn't look like anything's been woven in, because that's, the the cool part about it. That adds a little bit of mystery. You can't really see exactly how it's been attached. Um, oh, outside of amigurumi sticks, right? Outside of that, and outside of just getting lucky like I was with this, um, another thing that I recommend doing when trying to position things is, and I've done it before with one of my projects, is using fabric glue. So I use permanent fabric glue. I'll put it underneath whatever it is. Typically, it's a wig, like that I'm adding to a doll or something like that. I'll put the permanent fabric glue in, and then I'll use the pins to make sure it's positioned where I want it to be. And then I will, let me see here, trying to get this one in there. And then I'll let it dry for 24 hours minimum. And pull on it gently, make sure it's not moving, and then I sew it to the head. I make sure that it is sewed. I do not rely on fabric glue or anything to keep things affixed. I always will sew it down, but it definitely helps in that initial bit where you're trying to make sure that you keep the position while you're doing it. And I made a fantastic doll that way. The only real good photo, I have some videos actually of me working on it. That I was sharing to the friend who I was making it for his daughter. Um, but the only really good photo I have of it is his daughter holding it. And of course, I don't have the video, or I don't have the image of her blurred out on it. So it's not like I'd be able to share it now. Maybe I'd be able to share it one day. But it was a pattern I got from Etsy, I believe it was. It was a very good pattern. And of course, I checked, I was doing, this is before the rise of AI, if you will. So I checked to make sure it looked legit. I have found some that I was like, oh, this is fake. They were still around there. Don't get me wrong. The AI images were still around back then. That was only a few years ago, but I was telling her, I was like, hey, they've done something with this image or whatever. But with the doll I was doing, it was a type of like Belle from Beauty and the Beast. I was gonna make her a Tinkerbell, but life, just life. All right, that's the last one sewn in. So this gal is all done. Let me just get her looking nice. Um, one thing I could do, which I'm not going to do, but it's one thing that is an option for people. Eyes covered up. Is to like sew the tips of this dress down just a little bit so it stays when it pops open. But I think that does away with the fun of a kid being able to like play around with the doll. I can't remember for the life of me if I put a smile on the other doll's face. So I'm gonna have to bring some yarn with me tomorrow and just make sure. And if I did a smile, then I'll do a smile on this. If I didn't do a smile, then it's fine. But away she goes into her cauldron, and that's one project definitely done today. So now I've had those squares blocked. Yay! Got the cauldron wrapped up, the cauldron witch wrapped up. Let me just tuck her back in, tuck her little arms in. There we go. You can't, it's too dark, but there she is. Stuff blocked, cauldron witch finished. Oh, that's like not any projects done. Okay, let me see. Work on the back. Right, let's go work on this back. This is the backing for the cheetah print cardigan. Cheetah style cardigan. It's blurry again. Damn it. Okay. But yeah, this is going to be the top of it. As in the top. 1 second. Let me see if I can refocus this. Do not like that. You can see my hands just fine. There we go. Okay, cool. This is going to be, I think, the top. And then this is going to be the bottom of the cardigan where there's a little extra black. I'm going to need to add a little bit more before we can go on. But first, I need to get the edges of this done. So to do that, so I typically I double strand everything. This one was not double stranded because of the way I designed it. So it's single stranded. And then what I did is I made a back so it still maintains the thickness of everything else. Um, so I need to make this in a way in which I can connect it to the rest of the cardigan, which is also double stranded. So my plan for that is I got to go grab my hook, a 5 millimeter hook. My plan was to do single crochet, chain, single crochet all the way down. And then I just have to match the other side. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to I got to add a little bit more length to the end. Um, and then I'm going to, after I add the length to the end, the bottom section, probably about 1/3 of the way down, I'm going to add some width along here to give sort of more of a sloped, not sloped look, but expand the back of the cardigan so it's not a straight up and down cardigan. It basically follows with the shape of the body where it will flare out a little bit. That's the word I was looking for, flare. So anyway, I'm going to start working on that and we'll see how long this takes. I have no idea how many stitches I want it to be, but I think I'm going to have a single crochet and a chain stitch for every one of my half double crochet rows. So see how that turns out. I just kind of make it up as I go. Yeah, so that works, but at what cost? I think I need to crochet through both. Yeah, I do. Yeah, that'll work. And then I just need to do it. Maybe it'll work. I don't know. I'm making this up as I go along, so. Yeah, that kind of works. Also gives some uniformity to it, which is good. So that's fine. Yeah. Oh, that looks really good. It sucks because this is black yarn, right? So you can't really tell how good this looks, but just trust me, bro. Now the problem is though, is I'm seeing I finally got sort of the idea right here, but the beginning was kind of ugh. So I am going to go back now that I feel confident with how I'm doing it and make sure that I apply my spacing evenly. So it's okay to go back and just, ribbit, um, especially when you're not too far along. There's that. Another good part about recording this is that in the future, when I want to if I ever wanna make another one of these, I'll kinda be able to see that process. Um, See, I think I'm gonna end up with too many stitches here. Yeah. I guess it's fine. No, I need to do every other one because I'm gonna be doing this with a thicker stitch, if you will. So I think I do need to do every other one. Gosh, it's planning. It's the planning, you know? Let's try this again. Okay, so I need to 1 and then 2. Okay, here we go. And then 2. Having a fun time. Okay, that looks okay. Consistency is the key. Whatever I go with, I gotta stick with because I gotta do it the same on the other side. Yeah, this'll do. And I also have to be careful because I don't wanna add a lot of width to this at this time because it's almost exactly the perfect width that I need. So if I end up adding width to it, it could cause a complication where, the back is now too wide for what I need, and there's no way I can do yarn surgery on something as complex as this. It would just have to be a complete return to the drawing board type thing with in terms of how I'm gonna attach it. And, maybe that's the thing. Maybe I just need to attach this as I go, um, which is a distinct possibility, but I think I'm gonna attach it maybe along here as I go. But anyway, right now it's working really, really nicely. The spacing seems to be just right. Um, and I think I'll have no problem with my 10 millimeter hook. So, and I'm just doing long single crochet stitches between my chain twos. But this was the part that was holding me back from getting this done much sooner is just I was having kind of a creative block. Like I came back from spring break and I powered through this and I finished it in like 2 or 3 days. I was like, "Sweet, I got it done." And then just boom, hit a wall. Because I was worried about this part. Like my brain kept trying to figure out, "Okay, how are you gonna do this now? You got this far. What happens? You're probably gonna screw it up now. Ha ha." But yeah, I've been toying around with how I'm gonna have this done for a while now. So that goes there, that goes there. I think I'm slightly off kilter at this point because I think now this can go there. It's gotta be consistent. It's gotta be consistent. And the cool part is doing it this way, it's giving it a feel of uniformity that wasn't there before, um, when it came to how I joined that back black panel to the cheetah print side. So, I wouldn't call it a mistake, but I did tag this video as amigurumi because after I'm done with doing this back panel part, I am gonna switch back to doing amigurumi. I'm gonna be switching back to turtle, but I've noticed a couple people have popped into the stream as a viewer and then left, and I think it's because 'cause they're like, "This isn't amigurumi." Right now, amigurumi is like the hot thing in crochet, in terms of if you're trying to make a business out of it. because, the adult may not wanna invest in a full-on blanket that you're making or cardigan even, but they'd be okay with supporting you by buying some small little stuffed animal tchotchke that they can give to a friend or, their kid or their kid's friend or something along that line. So it's more palatable to do, crochet with amigurumi. But for me, crocheting is, um, very therapeutic. I really, really enjoy it. It's weird, I really enjoy doing something over and over and over and over and over again. I mean, I'm a huge fan of RuneScape. Um, for those of you in the know, I got my 99 rune crafting the old-fashioned way before they even had rune pouches, and you had to manually walk and do everything. I got 99 rune crafting. And that's almost the definition of insanity there. Didn't have all the teleports you do have nowadays, that's for sure. All right. So I keep pausing because I'm checking to make sure that I'm still being uniform and I'm still picking up kind of the same place. I see I've strayed a little bit, but it's still looking really good in terms of spacing, so I'm not overly concerned right now. Um, okay, it's gone pretty good. I think in the next 30 minutes or so, I should be able to switch over to the turtles. I'm actually almost done with this, which is nice. Just trying to remember where to leave this up at is sometimes difficult. Here we go. I know this isn't fun for anyone watching because you can't really see what my hands are doing. Um, but I mean, it's literally long single crochet, chain two, long single crochet, chain two. I think the only thing that's a mystery at this point is where exactly it is that I'm putting my hook between these two sections. And I'll show you in a second. Okay. So with each of these rounds, right, you're going to have the bars to share. So here where there's these bumps, let's see if I can get it right here, these bumps, like that yellow that's right there, or the tan, that is the part of the round that I'm focusing on. There we go. That right there. So when I'm doing my single crochets, I'm putting it where I can see that all the way at the end. And then the next spot where I'm going to do that is right here. And the next spot is right here. And then the next spot is right here. So that's how I'm getting my spacing. Not a very scientific approach, but it works for me. I mean, now I've screwed it up. Okay, it goes right there. That's what I get for looking at it through a different lens, right? But yeah. Right there. Almost to the home stretch, almost at the end of this one. Then I gotta flip it over and work on the other side. But at least between the slip stitch join that I had between the back and the front, and then what I'm doing here, it's gonna I don't think it'll ever separate, which is nice. Got no concerns about that. Alright, so now I made it to the end of the normal, pattern I'd been working on. Now I've gotta kinda do this section here, which is gonna be weird. Go through a couple different layers. Just, did a single crochet and then I did a chain 2. Alright, let me make sure it's not too tight, that's not pulling anywhere. That looks good. Okay, yeah, I like that. Gives it a lot more of a natural look too, I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, so for here, just gonna do the same thing, only at least now it's a little bit easier because I have a spot where I can very clearly crochet into. I just have to be careful again about it maybe pulling together. So I'm trying to make my chains kinda loose. I think it's gonna be okay, I think. I'm pretty sure that when I made it, I did a chain 2 anyway, so, like, when I made the back pattern, I did a chain 2, and then the next round, 3 double crochet, and the next round chain 2, so I should be fine here. Should be is the operating word, though. A little concerned about that one being so tough, but we'll just have to see, won't we? Got to the end. All right, I have my corners now. Um, get my stitch markers just so I have a spot in the corner. Not that I can't figure out where my corners are, it's just, why make it more difficult than it needs to be, especially when working with black yarn. So now I'm on the other side. I have to figure out how many I had between there and here and there. So I had 1, 2, and then the third one was already on this. So that's 1, 2. All right, now I have the okay, now that was 1, 2. Okay, so I need to add do I? Yeah, I do. Trying to make sure I have the same amount of stitches, but I don't know how well that's gonna work out for me. There we go. All right. Okay. I think I got it now. And the good thing about a long single crochet is as long as my tension is good and I bring it up to the same spot as all the others where I'm doing the chain space, it's very the single crochet down there is very, very forgiving. So these are not gonna be all the same length, I can tell you that right now. But they don't need to be for this, which is good. And then there we go. I'll be so excited when I can pin this up and I can start joining them. I mean, like, really, what I really, really want, and I have time, I can do it today. That's the thing is I can do it today. I really, really, really like to be able to, gift this tomorrow to the intended, teacher recipient, so it can be done over and done with this one, and start working on finishing up the other teacher's cardigan. And the other teacher, the final teacher, the one who wanted blue, and gave me, like, carte blanche, right? I have this idea of doing a panel in Van Gogh's Starry Night. I think it's very ambitious, but I found a pattern, a pixel like GraphCan style pattern that'll be like all I would have to do is double the stitches for everything if I'm going to do a single crochet. I know it's ambitious doing the Starry Night, but I think she'd really like it. But then I don't know if she likes Van Gogh. If she doesn't like Van Gogh, then she, might not want to wear a Van Gogh's Starry Night back panel on her cardigan. So I don't know. But she's the one, she asked me if I'd be able to make a sweater for her snake. And I was like, yeah, sure. And I was asking her some of the measurements. And what I'm probably going to do is make it a little bit wider, like the diameter a little bit wider than her snake is now, all the way throughout. So basically, make a big tube because I don't want the snake to get stuck in it. And of course, I want it to be able to grow with the snake a little bit. But she says that her snake is a heat hog, loves the warmth, loves to cuddle, is a cuddle bug. She's got a ball python. Um, I've got a ball python named Kiwi, and I'm working on getting Kiwi more familiar with being handled. She's okay with it. She's never bitten me. I've handled her quite frequently now. Um, Ball pythons typically don't bite because they're non-venomous. Um, So that's kind of their last resort. They like to ball up and hide instead, and they give a lot of warning signs before they strike. Um, and she's only ever kind of given me one warning sign where her neck was in the S shape. That was shortly after I got her, and I had to move her. She was not happy about being moved, but after that, she's been a lot more chill. She's been a little curious too. Um, so yeah, I'm really kind of excited to make the sweater for the one lady's uh, ball python. Which, by the way, if anyone ever happens to watch this and think, "Oh boy, that's a good idea. I have a snake that I would love to make a sweater for." You want to go with natural fibers. Cotton is the best because it's breathable. It won't get tangled up on the fibers, and it won't damage their skin like artificial fibers would. So there you go. I'm planning on doing a cotton sweater for the snake when it's all said and done. I've asked her about colors, like what color yarn she would like to go with for the snake. So I think what I'll do though tomorrow is just, or today even, if I'm gonna go to my kids' jits thing, then I'll probably stop by Hobby Lobby and take some pictures of their different yarn colors and just bring them by because I know it's difficult to get to Hobby Lobby when you're busy or if you got your own weekend runnings around, and Hobby Lobby can be really crazy on the weekends. But excuse me, this week is one of those ones where there's a sale. I'm totally not gonna go there and buy a ton of yarn, guys. Trust me, bro. Um, yeah, just trying to get through some of my projects. I have some other cardigans that I told people I would make for them, but they know that I won't be reaching out to them until this summer to get their measurements and specifications and stuff like that. So I have time on that at least. All right, so I'm almost done with this end. A little bit of trial and error, but think we finally got it, and I'll be able to finish this back up soon. Put it on that cardigan. Get the corner. There we go. All right, so there's our next corner space. Then I just have to finish up the top and we're done. Yeah, it's so weird. I wonder if I kind of have this weird feeling that either my mom or my husband's watching this, because ever so often someone pops in to live and then leaves, which is fine. I wouldn't expect it. Also, it is very weird. I feel so awkward whenever there's someone there, because then it's like, oh no, someone's watching me. What do I do? What do I say? When no one's here, then it's fine. All right, so just do. Just gonna skip 2, and I'm gonna start. There we go. Oh, I'm gonna have to do as many stitches. Oh, shoot. Okay. No, that's working good. That's good. That's working really good. Okay, so that's fine. I think I have to look at the back because okay, that's too many. Because I want this to mirror the bottom. And the bottom is where I did everything kind of based off of these blocks. So it's almost done. The cheetah print back. It's almost ready to go on the cardigan. All right. 2. So yeah, I'll just do every 2 and then skip. Do the same long stitch to try and help that uniformity. And then as soon as I finish this, I'm gonna go around with a single crochet in that double stranded with my 10mm hook, and then just add my increases where I need it. So I'm gonna add a little bit of increase on the bottom, probably a little increase on the top for the length that I'll need, and then get that flare going on the sides. So for that, I will need to use some stitch markers to determine where I'm gonna put my half doubles and my doubles. But that'll be easy enough, I think. And there we have it. Get it to the end. Since I'm switching over to double stranded with a 10mm hook, I just got to fasten this off. Oh, no! I just realized I should have done a single crochet right in the corner. So let me fix that real quick. I should have enough yarn for it. I'm pretty good about having a long enough tail to not worry about it too. 1, 2, yep, long enough tail. Never ever have short tails, y'all. You'll realize that you cut too soon, and now you're screwed. Because it happens to me, especially when I'm distracted. I got distracted. I was in a meeting with someone. I got distracted. There was something that I can crochet without looking, and I only finished the first round, and then I just cut it while I was explaining something to her about foreign currency exchange rates and how our financial software system translates them. And I was like, oh, shoot. She's like, what happened? And I was like, well, she knows me. She knows I crochet. Most people typically don't know that I can crochet during meetings without making it look like I'm not looking at Zoom. So whenever it's a meeting that I'm not directly involved, like I'm not sharing my screen, they just need my brain, then typically my hands are doing something. And if they're not fidgeting with one of the myriad of little magnetic clicky toys I have, I'm crocheting. So there we go. Just weaving this in a couple different ways to Sunday, if you will, because I do not want it coming undone. Nope. All right. This is woven in quite a lot of different ways, so I feel comfortable snipping it. And then since this is actually, this whole section here is going to get crocheted over. I'm just going to leave it in and out. There we go. Cool. So that's ready for me to start on adding the sides that I need for the cardigan. Okay, that's starting to bug me. Now I'm wondering if it's my husband coming in and out to try and see if maybe my sound's broken. So let me go check my phone. Cool. All right, so no, just me happening to look up when someone is watching. Born, y'all. Okay, so got that done. Now I just have to add a little bit of width to the side that will make it easier for me to connect to the cardigan, and also add that flare. So in terms of the flare, I'm going to get my halfway point for this. So here's my halfway point, if you will. And I'm going to want probably double crochets here. Right. So double crochets starting here. Actually, a little bit further up, I think. Yeah. And then I'm going to want my half doubles starting here. So I'm just putting these in so I know when I need to change my stitch. Because I'm going to do single crochets all the way up to this point. Double crochet. And then this is such a scientific method. I guess that is the downside to coming up with your own pattern for things. You just sort of have to wing it. And then if it doesn't look good, you have hours of frogging ahead of you. But on to the double stranded so I can finish up this back. Let's see. My two. Just going to be single crochet till you get to the end, then halves and doubles. Alrighty. Start right here. So we can fit this even in here. I think I made this a little too tight. I sure as heck did. Just pop this in. To be fair, I could probably go around it. Probably be the best thing for me. But no. There we go. And then one, I only want one in my corner here. So what I'm doing is that I can't put my 10mm hook in, so I'm just using a 5 to go and pull through both the strands and just doing a single crochet that way. I don't want to really pull out the yarn there, so actually I am going to do 2 in my corner. Go. There we go. It's going pretty fast, which is nice, and it's looking pretty all right. It's very straight edged. It's a little stretched out, which has me concerned. You can't see it, but there we go. So you see how holy it is? You can see my pants color behind the holes there. That does have me a little concerned. So we'll just have to see. I'll probably finish this, count how many stitches, and then compare it to the stitches that are in my cardigan sleeve and see if they line up or even are close in the ballpark. So I guess that's really the only concern, is that it won't line up correctly. And I suppose that's one way I could mitigate it, is doing like a decrease / increase, where between the two I just work another stitch. I don't know how to how to explain what I'm envisioning in my head right now. So I'll see if I can show you. No, I can't show you. Okay, so I'll show you as best I can. I know this is black yarn, so it's gonna be hard, but I have a spot here. Let me get I have a spot here, right? So this is where one single crochet would go. Then what I would do is between this one and this one, I would work another single crochet over, almost like a decrease, the way that you would grab one, grab the other, and make a single crochet. And then I would work another one here. So over the course of 2 of these spots, I would work 3 single crochets. So I may end up doing that. Oh no, come back here. My hook, my hook. I came for a hook. There we go. So I don't know. This is it looks clean, but it looks a little stretched. So I am kind of hoping that when I line this up with the cardigan sleeve, which I'll do as soon as I finish this, just this round. I'm not even gonna do a round. I'm just gonna do inside and line it up to my sleeve and see if that's an even viable, right? I'm gonna count it up. If it somehow manages to work, that's fine. But if it turns out that I'm like missing 1/3 of the stitches, if this is like 60 stitches and I need 90, then it's perfect. I've got an alternative, you know. So let me back up just a little bit. This goes really fast. And I also, of course, have to make sure that this side is the same amount of stitches that I have on the other side, which I believe I'll have, but we'll find out. Okay, so now here's where I'm switching to my half doubles to give it that height that I need for the flare. The upstairs is getting a little too hot now for me. Yeah, it's starting to, this is also starting to get a little tight. Now that I've added some height to it, I can really, really see the tightness of these stitches. All right, so now I'm onto my double here. But at least this is fast going. So, you know, I'm not overly concerned with it. I'm sure that I'd be able to figure out the math if I'm not exactly 1/3 short on the stitches. I'll need to grab my stitch markers for all that. It'll probably also, yeah, if I do that, I think it'd be a good idea. I don't know how that joining would work. We'll see. We'll see. All right. So I have made it to the end of one side. I'm just going to really quick get this here. And yeah, I'm seeing there's already some kind of bowing, if you will, some issues where it's a little too taut. But I'm gonna go grab the sleeve real quick, one of my sleeves, and start lining them up. I just need to find, oh gosh, I just need to find a ton of stitch markers. So just bear with me. I'll get some. I also have some in my bag for the turtles. Quite a few of those. All right. Yeah, I have plenty of stitch markers in there. Of course, 99% of them are black stitch markers. The black stitch markers for the black yarn. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to show you what one of the sleeves looks like. I haven't showed them recently, but wait till it is able to focus again. There we go. So here's what the sleeve looks like right now. And then here's what the outer part of the sleeve is going to look like in terms of the color transition. So it's looking pretty good. All right, so let's see how this will work out. This is the top, so I need to flip this towards me. I'm going to need a bit of a gap. So I'll probably have this, I don't want it right up on it, so right there's fine. All right. Now comes the fun part. I say fun part. So we got the sleeve, we got the back. It's going to see how well these stitches line up and make sure that there's not going to be any weird look once I join them. This is starting to feel a little tight though. I think I am going to need to add some more. Okay. But it is lining up really well right now, which is also kind of crazy. So that tells me at least the width is good. Okay. Probably a bit of a problem here. Yeah. These stitches are just, I don't know, man. Okay, I'm going to have to add some. We'll see. We shall see. They feel stiff. So about every 3 or 4 stitches, I'm just joining them. So I can get a close approximation of what it's going to be like when it's actually joined. So far, it's doing okay. I really can't complain, but we'll have to see, won't we? I do feel like there's a little bit of extra material that's, I don't know, we'll see. It's the fun part of coming up with stuff on your own with no pattern. You get to do all these little design things. Why people shouldn't really complain if they're buying a complicated pattern and the price is $10. There's a reason it's $10. You need to hope that enough people buy it so you can make up all of the hours of work that you put into it, the frogging, the redesign from scratch. Like I went through a couple different iterations of how I wanted to do the colors in these sleeves before I finally settled on what just made sense. Okay, so I have a lot more down here than I was expecting. It's not nearly enough for me to redo it, but I know from when I hung it before, and maybe it's because of the way I hung it before, I hung it where the top was a lot like lower, but I feel like this much material is not at all what I was expecting. So let me just combine these. I'm going to put it up on my mannequin real fast. You won't be able to see this part, but I want to make sure. Yeah, it's bubbling. There's too much fabric here compared to where it's attached here. So I do want to fix that. I can't do the idea I was thinking of. I'm gonna have to switch it to where it's like every 5. Let's see where I want to put it down at. I want it down probably about here. So I'm gonna need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We'll call it 10. I'll need 10 extra stitches. So now I need to see how many I have here. I've got 3, 6, 9, 10, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 22, 23. So I have 53 in all, and I need to add 10. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a new stitch every 5 stitches. And that should put me kind of where I need to be. So let me just mark out where that is. Where it was. 3, 6, and 10. So I have it marked on my sleeve where I want it to end up. And I'm just going to redo that count and hopefully get it lined up more naturally. Oh, the joys of doing your own thing. Okay, I'm going to leave this one in here, and I'm just going to do it as I go, like re-add the stitch markers as I go, so I don't need to do it later on, and then hopefully it works out perfect. We shall see. So here we go. Here's the frogging. Ribbit, ribbit. Okay, so I'm at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here's where I'm going to add my new one, right? So there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so now we've added 2 stitches already. I'm going to match these guys up at probably the 5th stitch mark. There we go. Yeah, that already feels better. Okay. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's our 3rd increase. And our 4th increase. Okay, that's our 4th increase. These guys matched up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And that was our 4th increase. I need 6 more. I'm glad they wanted the same weight because, boy, it's starting to get heavy. All right. Here comes our 5th increase. Now it's increase number 5. Increase number 6. Okay. Yeah, let's join our puppies. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Finish increase number 6. Got 4 more increases to go before I should be at the end where I want it to be. Go. All right. increase number 6. Now we've got to make our way. So it's 1, 2, 3. Here comes increase number 7. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Increase number 8. All right, so increase number 8's done. Ooh. Increase number 9. There's increase number 10. Okay. So increase number 10. So it should. Yeah, that lined me up pretty well to where I wanted to end up. I just have to make sure that the fabric isn't bunching somewhere, and then I think we're good. 3, 5. Okay. 3. Go. 1, 2, 3. That's fine. Okay. It doesn't look like it's bunching up right now. So that's good. And I don't think I need any more increases here. I'll probably work one more in just because it seems to be going so well. I just have to remember however many I do on this side, I do the same to the other side. So 2, 3, 4, 5, and then here's that increase. Yep. 1, 2, oops, and then that last stitch in the corner, where since it's tight, I'm just going to use my 5mm. Oh, that's not too tight at all, actually. That's good. Okay. Moving this over to my corner space here so I don't lose track of it. And then I'm gonna get this attached. See how it looks on my mannequin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Unfortunately, I won't be able to share what it looks like on my mannequin until I make it short. Okay. So this wonderful black stitch marker, right? This is what I put where I was like, hey, this is where I kind of want that strip to end, right? I'll switch over to blue so we can see. Oh, no, it's a bad blue one. Got some plastic residue from the manufacturing process. Okay, this is where I had it, where I was like, I want my last stitch on the back to end here on my sleeve. You can't see it because it's black yarn. I don't know if it'll be visible, but we have 1 stitch on both sides, 2 stitch on both sides, 3 stitch on both sides, the 4th stitch on both sides. It lines up fantastically. So it's exactly where I wanted it to end. So I'm just gonna, I have yarn. I'm probably put it on my mannequin. Let me see here. Put it up. Yeah. There is no bowing in this now. So adding those in there really helps. Now the problem is I have to count to make sure But I'm gonna have the same amount of stitches on this side that I have on the other side. So I'm gonna go grab that one, and no, actually, I'll just crochet it, and we'll see. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, no, I did it wrong. Oh, I'm so glad I caught this. Okay, so I forgot to do those half double crochets to do the flare. So let me just line this up again. I'm gonna need to do my half doubles here. So there's actually an increase that happens right there. So I need to do my half double there, and then I need to start my doubles right here. So I will have to do a little bit of frogging, but that's okay. That is A-okay, because I know that this works now. So happy about that. Okay. So I'm gonna frog. I'm gonna go redo that part so I can have the flare for this cardigan. Glad I caught it before I went to the other side. That would have been sad. Also glad I decided to not join as I go, because that would also have been sad. All right, so I'm gonna start with the increase being a half double here. And start with that height right away. Or I could pop off all the stitches from my hook, because that works too. That's weird. Hmm. All right. 2, 3, 4, 5. There's an increase. Let me check to see where my doubles need to go. Doubles will go right here. Then I won't need to lock it. All right, so half, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gosh, I'll just do my half double crochet increase right here then. Nah, yeah, I guess I will. Okay, so now I'm on my double crochets right there for that flare. 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Last increase, and then 3 last stitches. 1, 2, and 3. And this is where I'm actually going to fasten off this, because when I do the bottom part, I'm going to have it go down. I don't want this to be a turn space, so I am going to snip this very poorly with my scissors. Go. I'm so happy at how this turned out. So far, I'm so happy that this has turned out so far. Get the other side, and then I should be able to work a little bit on those turtles. And then whoever keeps hopping in to see the amigurumi will finally be able to see me do some amigurumi. AKA plushie making. It'll make him happy. It's always important, if you can, to make sure that you weave in your ends. All right. There we go. That end is all nice and woven in. Yeah, cool. Boy, that was a little stressful though. But better to get it now than to have to spend 3 hours doing yarn surgery like that other cardigan. Oy vey. Okay, go. 3. And then these will already be pinned up, so it'll be much easier for me to join when I get to that point on the back, which is like a bonus for me. I won't need to spend so long with that. I can just sit down and do it. Another exciting thing, right? In fact, I might actually take this with me to work on at the JIT Center. As long as they're not doing kickboxing on the side, I'll actually be able to do this on the mat. Should be fine. Okay, then let's see. 1, 2, 3, and 4. This one gets clipped together. Perfect. I really don't need much now down there, which is awesome. And now I just have to move on over to the other side and work on that. But yeah, this is looking good, I think. All right. So I got to count to see how many I have here. I added 10. I had 53. So I should have 63 at this point. But count twice, do it once. Right? Okay. I'm sure that's how it goes, right? Okay, so we got 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30. 3, 6, 9. So I did an extra one. 10. So it's 70 somehow. Not quite sure how that happened, but I have 70, right? Okay, so the earth is round. Sorry. That video lives rent free in my head. Okay. So I am going to want to make sure that for where I start my double crochets, I will be at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I need to be at 15 double crochets by the time I get to here. And I should have I should have 2 increases. So 15 with 2 increases, and then after this last increase is 3. So 3, then an increase. I'm going to put my first increase right here. Trying to keep these symmetrical. I won't lock that one. Okay. Here we go. See if I can put this one in. So I need to do 3 double crochets before my first increase. There's 1, 2. I just popped off that stitch marker. And 3. Right, let me check the other side. Oops. And then that's going to happen right over that. Is it? Yeah. Okay, so you've already come across a problem. I was in the corner. 2. That's right. I think. I think I have an extra stitch here. So I don't think I need to do an increase. We're going to find out, won't we? Okay. So then if there was an increase there, then it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I should have an increase here. I do. All right. Let's see. It's just hard to see. Yep, there's an increase right there. Perfect. That's good. Okay. Yay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then we have 5. So now I got to make sure I have 15 double crochets on this side for the symmetry. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Yes, I'm so sad no one got to see that happen, but kismet, 15 exactly, without even planning, kind of. That never happens. Cool. Now I get to switch over to the half doubles. Just see if that's 15. Yeah. Okay. Do the last increase, and then I go to half doubles until the end. So, or until the stitch marker. 2, 3. Gosh, 5. Got to increase. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, which is right because I started my half double crochets on an increase on the other side. So it should be my last half double. Okay. And then it singles all the way down, and then I get to count and make sure I have 70 back here. She's only going to be able to wear this in the winter, I think. Hopefully she runs cold like me. Anyway. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Increase. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Increase. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Increase. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Another increase. 1. Yeah. 1, 2. Wait. Nope. 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 Did that wrong. Okay. 1. Let me double check that back there. Yep. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Increase. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I feel like I'm off somewhere, which tells me that probably I don't have the same amount of stitches. So I'm going to just count this real quick and see where I'm at. All right, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30. Uh-oh. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, 3, and then that'll probably be 6. I think I'm short by 2. So now I feel like it's 70 on the other side. So I'm going to be short by, so I do need to do at least another increase. I'll probably work in 2 increases here somewhere because I know the half double crochets and the crochets on the other side work. So it's this side where I need a little bit of extra help. So probably right here, I could probably work in another one. Let me get to my 60 and then I'll know how many I need. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30. I know I need 70. So I have 3 here. I've got room for 1, 2, 3 more. I'm short 4. So I think what I'm going to do is work in 4 stitches throughout from the single crochets on to help with the bunching. So I'm going to need an extra one right here, an extra one right here, an extra one right here, if I can get this stupid stitch marker in, my gosh. And then one more extra one right here. That should do it. And so I'm going to keep up with my every 5, but I'm just going to add in, like where I see these markers, I'm going to add in an extra one. I think I'm actually going to move this one right about here. And then move this one just a little bit over. So right here. That looks more even. Okay. Just going to back it up real quick. And then just make sure I have it right. So here's where I just added, I see where I have a problem. I skipped out on the additional single crochet here. So already I've got a problem. Okay. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then here's the extra one. And that. Okay, so that actually helped that out quite a bit. Okay, so we'll keep going. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 extra right there. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That should do it. Oh, that helped that out a lot. Okay, cool. Cool. Let's count again. So we got 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, and 30. So now I'm at 60. I just need 10 more to the end, right? So let's see where I'm at. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I need to work in 2 more here, which is fine. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's our extra one. And then 1, 2. Actually, I'm going to add an extra one right here. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay. So I have the same amount on both sides after all of that pain. 70 on either side, and now I can pin this to the other sleeve side. At that point, I think I will be ready to take it with me, and I can join them at my kids' jits thing. So I will have spent 2 hours on this. Well, not on this. Actually, it's funny. I actually spent a whole hour on that one, a witch cauldron, which is kind of funny. I spent so much time on that, and like I didn't spend nearly as much time on this. But it happens. This one's a little bit easier. I don't have to like sew things in. I shouldn't say it's easier. It really wasn't easier. Just because of the planning, or poor planning, I guess you'd say. All right, so that's woven in. And take off these stitch markers so I can join it to the other. So I can put the stitch markers all over the floor. Oh my gosh. So I thought I hadn't woven these ends in. I thought it was yarn vomit, like yarn residue or whatever. I was trying to pull it back into the bowl, and I was like, why are you not moving? Okay. So that'll be the real test to see how well this lines up with the other side, with the other sleeve. Okay. I think that's all the stitch markers on that side. I don't know why I did that. I wasn't thinking. That's fine. I'll just undo it. I terminated the other side just before turning it, and here I started it already turned. So I'm just undoing my slip knot, and I'm just gonna unweave basically this first single crochet, and then I can basically make a new starting single crochet, which will be right here in the corner. Which will be right, it will be right here. I say while I'm pointing at black yarn, like anyone can actually see what it is I'm doing. Yeah, that's the downside. The nice part is this yarn is very, for me, it's very kind of shiny, so it's actually kind of easy for me to deal with right now. But okay. Oh, I can't wait to connect this to the other sleeve. It'll be so exciting. I'm so excited. I just can't hide it. No, I'll be excited when I can give this over to the teacher. She's gonna love it. She definitely not gonna be able to wear it anytime except when the schoolroom is extremely cold or winter, which is, the downside. But at least it will really hold up if she's only wearing it a few months out of the year. So it's such a bummer that, like, really, even though I get paid quite a fair amount, dude, I would not be able to afford making these in wool or any of the more expensive fibers if I was making it for all 5 teachers. Just kind of a bummer because I know acrylic is okay, but yeah. Anyway, let me go get that other sleeve so I can connect it. Put this gal right here while I go do that. Other sleeve, other sleeve. There we go. So there's the other sleeve. I'm just going to connect to the back. And then I'll probably head out. Take this with me. Make sure to have it the right way around, right? Okay. So now's the part where I got to go check this side, see where I have it pinned up. I've got my corner here. I want to match them up. Okay. That's there, there, there. So I'm going to match it. I'm going to connect the back to this stitch. Just going to mark it real quick. So this one's going to go right here. So hopefully, if I did everything right, mostly spaced right, oh, we're going to find out. I hope it works out. I really do. Whoops, let me just switch this around a little bit. Because the downside, because I didn't create the increases the same way. I know I increased them correctly in the bottom, but this is going to be a little bit weird. Hopefully not in a way that is noticeable for people just looking at it for the first time, right? So, but about every 5 stitches, I'm just going to join them. Oh, come on. Gosh darn it. What is with these fluffies? All right. 1, 2, 3. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'll stitch my bowl. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh no. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3. Whoops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't want to screw this up. All right. 3, 4, 5. Okay. 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'm gonna run out of my little the clips I have upstairs. I have a pack of over 1,000 of these things somewhere in the house. Oh gosh, I think maybe I have too many now. Oh no. 3, 5. It's gonna be annoying if that's the case. 3, 5, 3, 5. That leaves me with 3 at the end on this side. I think I have 5 on the end on the other side. Oh no. Yeah, 3. Okay, I added too many on this side. Shoot. Okay, let me recount because I did something wrong on this side, I guess. Let's see. We have 1, so 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30. Okay. 3, 6, 9. I only have 1 extra stitch. What's going on here? Okay, let me go back over here and look. It's easy enough fix, but still, it's just 1 stitch. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, 3, 6. Okay, so somehow I have 2 extra stitches on this side. Easy enough to fix. It really is easy enough to fix. So I'm just going to move this one up by 2. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stitches on this end, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to move this one down by 1. So now they both have 5 to the end. This one has like the terminating side, so this one actually be worked in. So I have straight up 5 on this side. I'm going to need to fudge where I have some things, which is fine. I'm just gonna I'm gonna shift this one. So we have, oh, and this is the terminating one, so I don't want to do the terminating one. So really, I was only off by 1, which is fine. What I will do is I will start, where's my, yeah, I think that's fine. As long as I end them in the right stitch, I'll be okay. Everything else will be fine. So yeah, I'm going to prop up my camera so we can get a better view of the cardigan so far. I don't know how well this will work. Don't want to knock over my office desk. Okay. So here it is so far. This is the front of it. Here's the back. It's just attached by the stitch markers right now, but I'm going to put it on and see how it works. It may be that I need to just drop the back a little bit, and that's fine. That's actually easier if I connect it the back. Oh my gosh. Oh, this is nice. Oh wow. Okay. I just heard a stitch marker. So okay. I may need to drop it. I'm not sure, but it looks okay for now. Definitely wide enough back. So I'm going to put this on the mannequin. I'll do a short for it, and then I'm going to head out. See if I want to drop the back or not. I'm not sure. So we're going to find out. But anyway, so that wraps it up. I'm not going to work on the turtles during this live stream. I can do that at a different time. But I only have 22 of those left. So that's it. Bye, future kids, grandkids, whatever. Future kids, not future kids. Kids from the future, my kids from in the future, and any potential grandkids. Okay.